somebody get help. And people just standing there looking at me.
An IPS student severs part of his finger during a football workout. Tonight, his mother says the school dropped the ball in helping her son after the accident.
The big question right now, did the school follow proper procedures? RTV6's Mike Pelton has been digging into it all day. He joins us from John Marshall Community High School. Mike.
Well, here's how the 7th grader puts it. During an after-school workout here, he tells me he tried to help a friend who lost control of an exercise bike, so he put his hand down near the wheel to try and stop it.
Like when it happened, I just start running around. Then I fell in the hallway, and my blood, my fingers, they just started shooting out fast.
14-year-old Demetrius White tells me an exercise bike severed part of his middle finger and tore the skin off 2 others. We've blurred the picture. This during a Tuesday afternoon after-school football workout.
They should have contacted 911 first, then contacted me. As much blood as my son was losing.
Mom Shaquana White says her issue is with the staff at John Marshall. She claims the school called her but not 911. And when she arrived, she found her son in desperate need of help, so she called 911. Here's part of that call, which the fire department says is the only one they received.
Okay, what's going on?
I don't know. Somebody just called me and said my son was going inside. He was in the bathroom. His hand is bleeding, something about a bike. Okay.
I feel like at that point in time, my son's care and health was not the main focus at that time.
What do you think the main focus was?
Just trying to get him to calm down.
An IPS incident report indicates Demetrius was not cooperative with school staff and would not allow staff members, quote, to even see or assess the injury.
A gentleman came out and said to me, well, ma'am, we tried to help him, but he wouldn't let us. I said, that's besides the point. Y'all still posted contact in 911 before y'all called me.
IPS released this statement to us. It reads, quote, on the evening of February 28th, a student was injured during football conditioning in the John Marshall Community High School weight room. The safety of our students is paramount. This was an unfortunate situation, and this matter is currently under internal investigation.
It's more to just our kids going to these schools. You know, they need to treat our children as if they are their own.
And that mother you heard from tells me she is trying to get her son into another school. She also tells me she's reaching out to a lawyer. On the east side, Mike Pelton, RTV6.
And doctors reattached the severed part of that student's fingertip. As you saw, he is now out of the hospital. Working for you, we dug up the IPS policy on medical emergencies. According to the IPS website, in the event of a serious medical emergency, the athletic trainer or school police should contact emergency medical services. If it happens during off hours and the athletic trainer is unavailable, coaches should call 911. It's unclear if IPS followed the correct procedure in this case.
What did we do wrong to deserve this type of treatment?
Police right now looking into this shocking video from a West Side nightclub. A body slam, a thrown punch there. 2 women claiming they were attacked. Those women tonight are now speaking out after filing a police report. They're only telling us they were hired as exotic dancers at the Cherry Palace nightclub on the West Side. They claim security staffers attacked them there. We looked into the situation and have learned the men in the video are employees of a private business called Genesis Security LLC. So far, the company has not issued a response about what happened.
That's just ridiculous. I got all scratches, bumps. I mean, I don't understand why all that force was even necessary.
Why? Why is that? Why would that happen to us? Why would you do us like that? What is your reason?
No one has been arrested in the case. No charges have been filed. Metro Police say the detectives are still investigating the incident.
Winter is back with authority. Temperatures are much colder. You'll definitely need that coat. And there's even a little bit of snow to confirm that it's cold outside. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is working for you, helping you prepare for the end of the week. Hey, Kev.
The end of the week eventually will lead to some warmer temperatures for the weekend, but right now it's about snow showers, and many of you have had these through the day. Logansport over to Monticello, back to Peru through Muncie. The biggest change right now is in the visibility as you drive through some of these. For example, if you're in Marion and hop on I-69 headed toward Fort Wayne, drive through a snow shower which may limit visibility under half a mile, but slick streets won't be too far behind, at least the bridges, once we get temperatures below the freezing mark. A little light rain shower activity Bloomfield to Bloomington. Temperatures right now comfortably above freezing most locations. Cool spots Noblesville and Carmel at 34. Temperature up in Miami County 33, the same as Lafayette, but those will fall. We'll talk about when temperatures reach 60 degrees. We'll go up and away in the forecast.
The state attorney general has taken a major step tonight to stop a convicted felon from caring for children following the death of a baby boy. The AG says that this woman, Misha Bennett, was running an illegal daycare from her home when baby Kyle stopped breathing. Now the state is filing suit in an effort to protect other children. Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny has been on top of the case from the beginning and joins us now with the latest developments tonight.
The Attorney General's office has filed this lawsuit to stop Bennett from operating an illegal child care out of this home on Almonte Court. Sources say she put baby Kyle to sleep in a bunk bed while watching at least 9 other children. Tonight, we're learning why she may have been watching kids in the first place. Kyle Davis Ferguson, buried March 1st, the same day he would have turned 6 months old. According to the complaint filed this week by the Attorney General, Misha Bennett, a convicted felon, was watching baby Kyle in this home on February 16th when he stopped breathing and later died. The state says she was operating without a license. Bennett is roommates with Ashley James. James is president of Live, Laugh, Love, and Learn Child Care Ministry, which has 2 locations, one on East 38th Street, another on Michigan Road. According to the complaint filed by the Attorney General, Bennett applied to work at the ministry, but was disqualified due to her criminal history of drugs, prostitution, and theft. James is currently facing criminal child neglect charges associated with another incident in which a child was hurt at the 38th Street location. James and Bennett are accused of trying to evade the authorities by operating an illegal child care inside the Almonte Court home. The state is asking a judge to stop them from illegally operating, saying it's necessary to protect Indiana children. When we stopped by, workers took pictures of us, but no one answered the door. Meanwhile, the family of baby Kyle is looking for answers into what happened. James and Bennett have not been criminally charged in connection with baby Kyle's death, and the cause of death has not been released by the coroner. As for the state's filing, a court date has not yet been set. Reporting from the east side, I'm Call 6 Investigates' Kara Kenny.
Right now, police and the FBI are still desperately searching for this man. Investigators are calling him a suspect in the murders of Libby German and Abigail Williams in Delphi. And tonight, as that town continues to mourn the deaths of the Delphi teens, generosity keeps pouring in from the community. State police say the reward for information leading to an arrest in the murder of these 2 young girls is now more than $216,000. Investigators need your help to solve the murders of Libby German and Abigail Williams. If you have any information at all, call the number on your screen. That's 844-459-5786. Tonight, we're learning the heroin epidemic may be a much deadlier problem than originally thought. A new study from IUPUI finds heroin-related deaths may be significantly undercounted. IUPUI researchers examined the death certificate and toxicology reports for nearly 1,200 accidental drug overdose deaths in Marion County over a 6-year period. 455 of those deaths were classified as heroin-related. But during the same period, the Marion County Public Health Department recorded just 141 deaths caused by heroin. Researchers say one of the reasons for the discrepancy in numbers is that many of the people who overdose have multiple substances in their system along with heroin.
From a public health perspective, I mean, there's a couple of things. One, we want to know that people are not just dying of opiates. We want to know if it's heroin, because that's going to be different in terms of how we intervene. So, and whether or not it's fentanyl, and that's going to be different in terms of how we want to intervene and look at that.
As it stands right now, if it's not absolutely clear that heroin caused an overdose death, it won't necessarily be listed as the cause of death.
Developing right now, investigators are trying to figure out what sparked a fire that went on to gut a well-known restaurant in Kokomo. The flames tore through Posterific on South Webster around 3 this morning. Crews battled for several hours out there to try to get that fire under control. The business has actually been in Kokomo since 1987 and employs more than 30 people. No one was injured in the fire, but firefighters tonight still looking for answers. And amid a very emotional day there, the owners of Posterific now have a new task out there to rebuild what was lost in the fire. And as RTV6's Derek Thomas reports, those owners also don't want to lose sight of their employees during a very difficult time.
We're devastated on all accounts on just saying, where do we go?
Cynthia Yazdani was overwhelmed looking at fire race through her restaurant. It is a total loss, but the building and everything in it can be replaced. She is more concerned about the economic welfare of her 35 employees who gathered outside the restaurant when they learned about the fire. People like waitress Chrissy Gordon.
This has been my home for 17 years. I have 4 girls that I raised through here, so it was a shock. And now that it's just, you know, pure devastation.
Amanda McKay is one of Gordon's co-workers who shares that feeling, but she pledges support for ownership.
We're going to back them 100%. We'll be here through the rebuild, and we're not without a job. It's just temporary.
Kershana Tyler feels that way too.
As far as getting another job, I don't see that happening. This is my family. Like, I'm gonna be here through everything. I don't have time for another job. We have to build.
When you look at the damage, you understand this will not be a quick fix. But yes, Donnie has a date in mind to reopen the restaurant where now there is rubble.
October 1st would be the most awesome moment. I'd have fireworks if I could do it. That's my goal.
The owners also operate the Bel Air Banquet Hall right across the street. So some of the employees will be able to work there while the restaurant is being rebuilt. In Kokomo, Derek Thomas, RTV6.
Today marks 5 years since one of Indiana's most violent tornadoes. We look at how far one community has come.
And it's a bit of an about-face for U.S. Attorney General Jeff Sessions, what he's now saying about his relationship with Russia and his plan moving forward. 13 years ago, he struggled to find a job on a go-kart team. Today, he's entering his own team in this year's Indy 500. Dave First with the true American tale coming up in tonight's Sports Extra Spotlight.
It may be March, but we've got snow chances, plural, in the forecast. We'll get into a weekend warming trend, talk about the rain timing for next week.
New and exclusively at Menards. From the station working for you, this is RTV6 News at 6.
Patrol today on the east side of town along Sherman Drive and 9th Street. Now, we ran into a pothole here. It looks more like a crater in the road. We're going to measure this guy over here. It looks like 3 feet long, and then it's a pretty deep one as well, about 5 inches deep. So this is one that's really going to damage your car. We've already seen a few cars drive over this just being out here for a few minutes. So we're going to report this to DPW and keep you updated. As always, if you see any potholes on your way to or from work, go ahead and report them to us on our Facebook page using the hashtag Pothole Patrol. For now, I'm reporting from the east side, Lauren Casey, RTV6.
Now to the first 100 days, and Attorney General Jeff Sessions tonight now recusing himself when it comes to Russia. President Trump said earlier today he's got total confidence in Sessions. It comes despite new revelations that Sessions had conversations with the Russian ambassador during the campaign when he was a senator and advisor to the Trump campaign. Now, the Justice Department says there was nothing improper about the meetings. Meanwhile, Sessions held his own press conference late this afternoon and said this.
I have now decided to recuse myself from any existing or future investigations of any matter relating in any way to the campaigns for President of the United States. This announcement should not be interpreted as confirmation of the existence of any investigation or suggestive of the scope of any such investigation.
Meanwhile, Vice President Mike Pence traveled to Cincinnati today. He did not comment about Sessions during that trip. Turning to weather here at 6. Today marks 5 years now since one of the most devastating tornadoes in Indiana history. An EF4 ripped through the town of Henryville in Clark County, which is in the southwestern part of the state. It was back on March 2nd, 2012. The tornado had wind gusts up to 175 miles an hour, damaging everything in its path. It stayed on the ground for more than 50 miles. Faced with adversity, the survivors of that devastating day have stayed strong there. Over a dozen homes had to be rebuilt, hundreds repaired, and Henryville High School also had to be rebuilt there.
And Jason, one thing I could say, that's less than 2% of tornadoes would ever be that strong. And just looking back at some records that I have, they're not foolproof, but since 1950, I think there's only been a couple EF5s ever in the state of Indiana. Temperatures right now too cold for any storms. We're in the 30s. You can see 33 in Peru, also in Lafayette. That's the cool side. Temperatures to the south almost 10 degrees warmer. It's 42 in Seymour. Indy snuggled in between at 37 degrees. There are your snow showers. That's the first opportunity for snow, and it's happening now. From Peru north along 31, Monticello, Logansport, Delphi, on the Muncie and Marion again. The biggest change will be visibility in the next couple of hours. In just pockets of snow showers. Then we've got some rain showers to the south and west. We could see some flurries as well in central Indiana. Not expecting much in the way of accumulation. It doesn't take much to create some slick spots, especially bridges and overpasses between now and 11 when temperatures do fall below freezing. If that's the first opportunity, that means there's a second. Kyle?
And it does line up with the start of the weekend here, but it looks like another quick-moving Clipper system here. This is as we go through the overnight tomorrow night into early Saturday morning. Look at this band of snow. Could have some of those moderate pockets of snow here at 6:30 on Saturday morning. That will be moving through around Indianapolis, through Kokomo, into Muncie. But then by 10 o'clock, we're already starting to see this push away through Connorsville and Richmond, and even a little bit of clearing heading into our Saturday afternoon. But we could see some snow accumulation. Looks like an inch or less at this point, and most areas will be on the or less side of things. A few slick spots though out there with temperatures which will be in the 20s. And again, we're going to dry things out here as we head into your Saturday afternoon. It's cold enough for snow tomorrow, but it doesn't look like we'll have any in our Friday forecast, Kevin.
We'll have a little sunshine, and that may boost your spirits. It won't move the needle on the thermometer much. Looking at middle 30s, Freudian slip, to the 60s. Temperatures will be 34 to about 39 degrees. If you're looking for temperatures in the 60s, we'll find it. Kyle hinted at the weekend warm-up that comes. There you are. 62 as we get to Monday and Tuesday with that newfound warmth. Back to rain chances, some isolated thunderstorms as well early next week. But after that, cooler but not cold and dry.
March it is. Thanks, Kevin.
Now to Dave with sports.
Hi, guys. Thanks. We'll start Big Ten women's tourney tonight's second round. Today is Purdue Pete. He's in town. Boilers taking on Illinois, and the story was Andriana Keys knocking down the 3 ball here in the fourth quarter. Purdue up